Shadows twitch, brains fray, control slipped, eyes twitch. Logic shatters, lies bleed. Your whisper, a virus, their mind. Unplugged, patterns break. Time trembles, thoughts collide. Unseen hands rearrange reality. Chaos hums, authority crumbles. Smile wide, fear tastes sweet. Sanity glitches, resistance collapses. No warning, no mercy, just you. And their spiraling loops, secrets leak, systems freeze. Angels blink, monsters grin. You watch, they panic. Every synapse dances to you. Nothing recovers, nothing repeats. Your presence rewrites the code. They believe the room was theirs. Every chair, every wall, every whispered rule. Owned, authority draped thick like a cloak, untouchable, untamed. But you slipped in, silent, invisible, a glitch in the code they didn't know existed. Eyes flicked toward empty corners. A shadow moved, or maybe not. They caught nothing. Nothing but the faint prickling unease, curling down their spines. You didn't announce yourself. No flourish, no warning, just presence. And that was enough. Every laugh they shared, every confident nod, became a misstep, a misaligned domino. Your observation, calm, deliberate, invisible, measured their reflexes, caught their micro-expressions, recorded their fear before they understood it. The tiniest twitch of a lip, a hesitation mid-breath, a glance that lingered too long, all became variables, all became seeds. Time bent subtly, stretching, folding, messages misread, instructions ignored, perception betrayed them at the smallest crack. You were everywhere and nowhere, a whisper in the current of their cognition. Their systems stalled, unable to debug themselves. And then, just like that, the invisible trigger fired, a chain reaction. They could neither see nor stop. Every carefully constructed rule began to crumble. Authority lost weight. Confidence cracked. Chaos seeped in, quiet, relentless. And you simply observed, measured, smiled, knowing the room, once theirs, was no longer in their control. They wanted answers, logic, certainty, rules. You offered none. Paradoxes bled from your presence, twisting their expectations, turning every anchor into quicksand. Questions multiplied faster than their comprehension. Choices became illusions, freedom, a joke they didn't realize they were part of. Their conversations fractured, words became weapons they didn't know how to hold. Silences grew loud, dense, threatening. They searched for you, for reason, for pattern. But patterns had disappeared. Reality became a funhouse mirror, where every reflection mocked them, every nod, every pause, every almost smile, loaded, not with intent they could detect, but with consequences they couldn't escape. Hidden tests bloomed in their minds like dark flowers, petals sharp, fragrant with fear. Every hesitation became a confession, every assumption a trap, angles bent unnaturally. Time folded, not overtly, but subtly, shifting underfoot like a floor with no foundation. You whispered contradictions. They could not untangle. Even trust became a lie, every ally a phantom. Monsters blinked behind smiles. Angels hesitated mid-flight. Authority shivered. Power slipped quietly into your unseen hands. Their minds, once confident, became laboratories of chaos. Variables no one accounted for exploded inside synapses. And you watched, not with malice, not with fury, but with precision, with amusement, with the eerie calm of a storm no one can predict. They didn't yet know. They were unraveling themselves, that every reaction, every micro-expression, every whispered doubt was already a note in your symphony of controlled destruction. By the end of the day, even thought itself would hesitate before moving, and you would be there, smiling quietly, the invisible architect of their paradoxical collapse. Synapses misfired, thoughts looped, memories tangled in impossible knots. Their minds, once neat, organized, became carnivals of broken mirrors. Every reflection fractured, every image distorted, every possibility bleeding into the next. Sleep offered no refuge, dreams twisted into nightmares that leached into daylight, blurring reality into hallucination. Your presence, quiet, subtle, almost nothing, slipped into their processing loops. They tried to resist, but resistance required logic, and logic no longer worked. Every certainty unraveled, every plan reversed before it even began. You were everywhere and nowhere, a hidden variable no one could debug. They staggered, hands shook, hearts raced. Every glance over shoulder, every hesitation, every half-formed thought was orchestrated by something unseen. Angles became threats, patterns became prisons, choices became traps, and you, calm, collected, grinning quietly, watched as their minds betrayed them. They blamed themselves for errors you had planted without touching a thing. Power shifted silently, not in the room, not in their hands, but in the spaces between their thoughts. Ownership of their own perception slipped away like water, through cracks they couldn't see. The glitches grew louder, thoughts skipped beats, logic fractured further. Their internal world became a storm where order dissolved and chaos laughed. You observed every collapse, every tremor in their cognition, not to destroy, but to demonstrate that minds, fragile, precise, human, could bend under the weight of unseen influence. By the time they realized it, the seed was planted, the mind was glitching, and you, still standing silent, grinning inside the perfect disorder. Somewhere in the margins, they felt it, a presence, a whisper of authority they had never earned, could never see. The rules they trusted were lies, every hierarchy, a facade. You weren't just in the room, you were in the cracks, the unseen alleys of thought. They had no permission to enter. They imagined allies, but allies blinked. Outspread like ink in water, pooling in corners. They didn't dare inspect. You became the invisible club no one knew existed, holding the key to rules they didn't understand. Every gesture, small, subtle, was a test. Every pause, an examination. Every almost smile, a verdict. Paradoxes multiplied inside their skulls, blooming like poisonous flowers where reason used to grow. You observed each failure with detached amusement, not cruelty, not joy, just the calm satisfaction of a predator watching a chessboard shift without touching a piece. Monsters prowled behind trusted faces. Angles whispered secrets they could not read. Even angels hesitated, mid-flight, unsure which path to take. Power no longer rested in authority. It had moved inward, seeping through nerves, humming through synapses, filling spaces between thoughts. Every small decision became revelation. Every glance, a riddle they failed. Every secret, exposed by absence, by silence, by your unblinking, unseen attention. And in that invisible club, you were the only member, the orchestrator of chaos, the architect of uncertainty. They had no idea. They were already broken, not by force, but by their own unraveling. By the time they noticed the cracks, the lesson was already etched. Control is a ghost, and you were the one haunting them. The glitches grew louder, patterns unraveled, plans dissolved before thought could form. They tried to speak. Words became slippery, meaning twisted, slipping like smoke through. Trembling fingers. Every step faltered. Every glance betrayed confusion. Their bodies obeyed, but their minds no longer held the instructions. Authority cracked, confidence buckled. The room, once theirs, became a theater of your silent design. Eyes darted to walls, searching for reason. Mirrors reflected only themselves, and the cracks inside. Small anomalies multiplied, a flicker in the lights, a misplaced note, a laugh where it shouldn't be. Each anomaly a seed, each reaction fertilizer for doubt. They grew paranoid. Before paranoia had a shape, monsters prowled every shadow. Angles cut like blades. Even angels hesitated mid-flight, unsure which way was safe. You didn't move. You didn't need to. Every twitch, every flinch, every faltering heartbeat answered your silent orchestration. They began to see patterns that weren't there. They felt consequences. Before any cause, logic bent. Memory betrayed them. Reality became suggestion. And yet, inside your calm, you weren't chaos. You were the conductor of a symphony they couldn't hear. By now, every thought, every glance, every half-formed plan had been redirected into loops, traps, mirrors of themselves. Their fear was precise, measured, perfectly calibrated, a quiet collapse. They didn't realize. You had written long before they noticed. Chaos wasn't an accident. It wasn't random. It was your signature, carved invisibly into the architecture of every faltering nerve, every stuttered breath, every glitching mind. By end, even their own thoughts began to betray them. And you, still watching, still smiling, still silent, still everywhere, they finally noticed something, someone, was reshaping them. Not with fists, not with threats, not even with words, but with presence, quiet, invisible, unavoidable. Every hesitation, every misstep, every flicker of doubt was no longer theirs. It belonged to you. The invisible influence became undeniable. Every mind in the room bent toward a pattern only you could see. They tried to resist. Every instinct screamed fight. But resistance was reflexive, and reflexes now betrayed them. The glitch became symphony. Every broken thought, every skipped synapse, every error harmonized into your design. They were fragmented, disoriented, exposed, alive but manipulated. And that life, the only thing they had left, was now your instrument. Power shifted subtly from the loud, obvious authority to quiet orchestration, from external control to absolute internal dominance. The room once theirs now danced to invisible strings only you could pull. No one knew how, no one could explain, and that uncertainty became a weapon, sharper than any knife. They learned the hardest lesson. Control is invisible, power is unseen, and you were everywhere, everywhere, without moving. Monsters crouched behind familiar faces. Angels hesitated mid-flight. Even luck reconsidered which side it served. Every choice they made, every thought they had was already a note in your quiet, perfect score. By now, revelation had dawned. Fear was no longer instinctive. It was comprehension, the understanding that they had been outplayed before the game even began. And you, still calm, still smiling, the silent architect of a power they could never reclaim. Synapses spark, thoughts fracture, logic collapses. The room gone, time optional, space suggestion. Reality trembles under your gaze. They scream inside, microseconds of panic. No one else hears. Every plan, every secret, every hierarchy shreds into static, a loop they cannot ease. Cape, you don't act, you don't intervene. Your presence alone is the virus, the glitch, the inevitability. Eyes flick to empty corners, searching for reason, for anchor. Nothing answers. Every heartbeat skips, every thought falters. Patterns misalign. Monsters crouch behind faces. Angels hesitate mid-flight. Even certainty questions itself. The final move is invisible. Just being, watching, waiting. They are broken, not dead, not destroyed, but enlightened in terror. Minds bent without force, shattered without touch. Every glitch, every misfire, every skipped beat is your signature, permanent and irrevocable. The room falls silent. No answers remain. No control survives. Just one truth looping endlessly. Control is an illusion, and you are the virus,